of the Planning Commission on this particular topic. And then in mid-July, the draft general plan update is being released to the public. In this particular case, we're doing a two-phase release where the general plan update is being released first, and then 2 months later, the draft EIR associated with that general plan update is being released. And the reason for that is it's been apparently at least 2 years, possibly more, since people have seen any kind of a draft. There was a previous draft that was put out, and the feeling is that people need to be reacquainted with that document. So the draft general plan update will be released to the public, and then on July 21st, the draft general plan update will be presented to the board. I want to stress that this is not a public hearing. No decisions will get made. The idea is to have an opportunity to present the format of the general plan update and the elements of it, and to allow people to see what that looks like. From there, just other staff work is going to go into the greenhouse gas analysis that is going to go into the draft EIR, and that will be completed in July. The traffic analysis associated with the EIR is going to be done in August, and then in mid-September, the EIR associated with the draft general plan update will be released to the public. So there's kind of a progression here, and then at September 22nd, and these are all dates that are already on your board calendar, there will be a presentation on the draft general plan update EIR to the board. Again, it's a chance to look at the format, to kind of match that to the general plan update itself. It is not a public hearing. It is not a time that a decision needs to be made. It's presenting it to the board. That's going to be followed then with public presentations on the draft general plan update and EIR that will be held in locations around the county, and it will be done over a couple-day period. There will be, in fairly rapid succession, then an airport land use commission hearing, because that is part of this review process, and a planning commission hearing on the entire draft general plan update and the EIR. Continuing on to the next page, then on October 27th, there would be a board public hearing. This would be a decision-making hearing on the draft general plan update and on the EIR. And then in early November, the public review period would end for those documents. So you've got kind of a progression here that takes you through the end of the year. At that point, we expect a lot of comments and input and direction, and so the consultants and staff will kind of retreat back into their desks and develop the final general plan update and EIR that will be released for public review in January of 2009. In February, then, you've got the Planning Commission hearing on the final documents. In March, you would have a board public hearing to approve the final general plan update and EIR. So that basically takes you through the first quarter of the calendar year 2009. And then just to be clear, that just because you've adopted a general plan update based on a particular EIR, that's not the end of the work. You need to, the county needs to publish and distribute this new general plan. There needs to be training or, orientation for staff on the new general plan and its implementation, presentations to the public on all of that. Those are less critical things in terms of the time frames, but they are follow-up to that. And then, again, there are implementation measures that go along with the general plan. And I have to say that one of the things that we are going to be presenting to you, both with the general plan update as well as with the Ukiah Valley Area Plan, will be cost estimates for the implementation measures. That was something that you as a board asked for, and so that is part of the preparation of what will be presented to you, so that in adopting these things, you will know what the estimated cost impacts will be and the future commitments that are being made, because I think that's been a concern in the past, that maybe commitments have been made without fully knowing the costs of them. So following into the later quarters in 2009, you're looking at implementation of the general plan, any ordinance revisions that are necessary, and then you need to establish systems for mitigations and monitoring of that. So that's kind of the cycle, but that will close out the general plan update process. Okay, next column, Ukiah Valley Area Plan. One of the things that we're dealing with the timeframes for the Ukiah Valley Area Plan are a number of topic areas that have kind of been broader than what was initially anticipated. I think we've talked before about traffic and needing to recalibrate the models there, added at least 6 months to that time frame. Greenhouse gases and climate change is another thing that's added on. So, and now the next thing that we're dealing with is the water supply. And so on advice of consultants and council, we are proposing a water supply analysis, and that is one of the contracts that is before you today. And that would begin in July with the approval of the contract today. There's a lot of staff work that's going to be going into this. There are new mixed-use land use classifications that are being developed. There will be work with the water districts regarding the data and the analysis for this water study. Greenhouse gas analysis needs to be added into this. And so basically through the rest of this year, the water supply analysis is estimated to take a minimum of 90 days just for the consultant study part. And that's if all goes well. We expect that it will add on about 6 months into the process, and that's what this time frame takes into account. So moving on to the next column here, you have completion of the draft documents for the Ukiah Valley Area Plan and associated EIR by the end of the year. And then at the beginning of 2009, the draft UVAP and EIR will be released for public review. Then you've got Planning Commission and Airport Land Use Commission hearings on UVAP. There will be a presentation to the board in April. Again, not a decision-making meeting, but a presentation. One difference here is we are moving the Ukiah Valley Area Plan and the draft EIR together on the same time frames, and that's because those two things need to move together, because the EIR will deal with the areas of mitigation in the Ukiah Valley Area Plan. Again, there will be public presentations in May, Planning Commission hearing, and then in June, the board will hold the public hearing on the draft Ukiah Valley Area Plan and the EIR. Follows a similar process where the public review period will end then in July for those drafts. A final will be released in late August. Planning Commission will hold another hearing on the final general plan update and EIR, and then in October the board will hold a public hearing to approve the final Ukiah Valley Area Plan and EIR, and again the follow-up to those things. It's theoretically possible that